Hello, this is Optimum Health For All. My name is Odia.
Optimum health for all, for all, for all, for all. We're building up strong so we never fall. Mindset, power, we're standing tall. It's optimum health, yeah, it's for all.
In this episode of our podcast, we'll talk about stress. Stress is what you have heard of before. We talk about stress most of the time. You feel you are stressed out, and a lot of stressful events and the environment and so on. So we just want to talk briefly about stress. What is stress? How does the body react to stress? How can you cope? How can one cope with stress or stressful events? Stress is everyday occurrence, usually daily occurrences, human experiences that tells on the body, affects the body in such a way, or the consciousness or mental, social, psychological status in such a way that we have the initiation of the fight or flight phenomenon. That is, the body reacts to in attempt to overcome the stress or cope with the stressful event. So, what are these stressful events? They can be acute, episodic, or chronic. So, the acute ones, give some examples: bereavement, for example, heartbreak, maybe a loved one, you catch him or her with somebody else, and that's a lot of negative stress. So, you react to it by heartbreak and all that. Then, there could also be episodic stress, like what is recurrent based on your occupation. Those in the medical field usually experience episodic stress when there's a lot of work to be done, and the work keep coming and coming, and you have to meet deadlines and all that. Even people work in banks, they are also told to bring um, some amount of money to up with their cabal. Otherwise, they will be sacked from their place of work. So you have bankers, they are always stressed, and sometimes they develop effects of this pressure on them. Sometimes they develop very elevated blood pressure and so on. So stress can be mainly negative, but there can positive stress. Say you got a very plump job, and the amount is very mouth watering. Of course, that will be keeps you happy. The body produces happy hormones, and even though the heart is skipping, beating, and all that, you are in a positive place. So, chronic stress. Let's talk about ev- things that will we can describe as chronic stress. Everyday events. What is regarded as everyday hassle, living from day to day. Wake up in the morning, look for your work, your school, go to school, pass your exams for those who are in school. Or for those who are working, make sure that you are going back to work, and maybe you're going to meet a toxic boss and a toxic work environment and all that. So it's on and on and on every day, and don't seem to be any escape. Or you don't like where you are living, the landlord is very troublesome, the neighbors are bad, and so on and so forth. So there's one reason or the other to have a stressful event or the other every day. So, so we can say we have acute stress, there's episodic stress, and then there's chronic stress. Now, these stressful events, we also say that it can be positive, depending on the type of stress, or usually negative when the body reacts to it in a fight or flight uh, mode. So, the body reacts to stressful events in the environment. Noise pollution, for example, the environmental degradation, those who live in a place where there's a lot of nuisance, they have to live there all the time. Those are stressful events. How does the body react to stress? There's mental and there's the physical. Of course, there's psychosocial. But mentally, the body is there's a lot of irritability, especially when the stress is persistent and continuous. There's also the fact that there's anxiety, sometimes depression. Then the body also reacts physically. Palpitations, the heart beats very fast because of the secretion of adrenergic hormones. Then sweating occasionally, uh, urinating frequently. The chronic manner it can affect the uh, reproductive system, where in men there could be erectile dysfunction because of very chronic stress, and in women menstrual dysfunction, where the menstruation is irregular. There are other things. Stress can give rise to certain disease conditions have been implicated in stress, hypertension, hepatic ulcer disease, and so on. Intestinal hurry, irritable bowel syndrome. Some of these things have been associated with high stressor levels. So, what can we do to manage stress? First, if it's have to do with your place of work, please ensure that you are properly trained for the work you are doing so that you are a round peg in a round hole. Also, try and relate well with your that with your co-workers, your bosses, and so on in a healthy professional manner. Avoid cutting corners because that also can cause a lot of stressors on its own. If you are a student, is to read and try and understand. If you don't understand, ask, go to the library, find out results or find out answers to questions. Don't cut corners again. For example, cheating in an exam that causes a whole lot of other problems. Or trying to be unprofessional with your teachers and so on. It does not help matters. Sleep well at night because stress always have some affect sleep patterns. So there's sometimes insomnia because of stress, excessive stress, or somnolence when there's excessive sleep or sleeping at the wrong times. Avoid taking stimulants, maybe coffee and so on. Avoid such things so that one does not overstimulate himself. Not that you don't take coffee or tea. You can take them normal, but not in excessive manner. That is always taking it because you want to keep awake. Usually, those who try to keep awake at night so that they can read uh, when it's not something they are used to may not do well even in the exams they are prepared for. So, what else can be done? Counseling. You can get counseling from your colleagues, those who can confide in. They may be able to help you with one or two solutions to the problems that you have. Don't be afraid to ask others, those you confide in, not those who will not make your situation worse. For those who are religious, maybe you can talk to your religious counselor and so on. But beyond that, you may need to go to professionals in the hospital, like psychologists, psychiatrists, to discuss certain stress related issues, which you may be able to, they will tell you how to overcome them or how to manage them. Also, you may remember that you are going to talk to um, your spouse if you are married and you have marital issues. Discuss them with your spouse so that you can resolve issues rather than keeping it, bottling it up, and not finding adequate resolutions to long drawn out issues. Toxic relationships should be avoided, and anything that can be done to solve the problem should be done. If it's possible to remove the stressor, if it's well recognized and it can be done, of course, go away from it. For example, if you are living in a neighborhood where there's a lot of crime and a lot of nuisance, if it's possible, move away from that neighborhood. Go away from the from the stressor environment, from the stressing environment. So there are things that you can do to help yourself and ensure that stress is brought to the barest minimum. Stress is important for day-to-day living. So don't think that you can do without stress. Day-to-day living requires some degree of stress. To get you up in the morning, to go look for your daily activities, look for food to eat, get an income and all that. You need to move. You need to do your work. You need to do it well. Sitting in one place and lamenting does not help anybody. So, stress is a fact of life, but excessive negative stress is deleterious to human health, and that is why stress management is important. Do the ones you can do, talk to a confidant, talk to your spouse, and you can approach a professional counselor or psychologist or a psychiatrist. Thank you very much. It's Optimal Health for All. Share, subscribe.
Optimum health for all, for all, for all, for all. We're building up strong so we never fall. Mindset, power, we're standing tall. It's optimum health, yeah, it's for all. Knowledge is wealth, so we pass it on quick. From the food to the mood, we be flipping the script. From gut to brain, everything aligned. When you live that good life, it's a powerful sign. Balance is the mission, got the vision on deck. Cut the stress, no mess, keep the wellness in check. We thrive, we shine with every routine. Optimum health, you know, but I Optimum health for all.